Okay, here we go. So we're looking at reducing balance loans. For those of you who are watching on the video, we've just read page 206 to 207 of our textbook. So pause the video and read those couple of pages. All right, let's answer these questions. When you take out a loan, do you A, pay interest, or B, get paid interest? I want you to put your hand up to answer this question. Put your hand up if A is your answer for the first one. Put your hand up if B is your answer. The correct answer is A. Yes, you pay interest. Part 2. If you take out a loan for a car using compound interest over time, does the interest A, stay the same, B, reduce, C, increase, assuming that you pay back the loan like in equal repayments? So using compound interest over time, does the interest stay the same, reduce, or increase? Let's do a show of hands. Hands up for A, stay the same. Hands up for B, reduce. Hands up for C, increase. Correct answer is B, reduce. All right, B, it reduces over time as long as you repay. Part 3, when taking out a loan, interest is calculated on A, the initial loan principal, or B, the outstanding balance of the loan. Hands up for A, the initial loan principal. Hands up for B, the outstanding balance. A couple of people said that. Hands up if you're not sure. The correct answer is B, the outstanding balance of the loan. You get charged based on how much is left to pay on the loan. And last question. When taking out a loan, you want the interest rate to be A, as high as possible, B, as low as possible, C, doesn't matter. Hands up for A. Hands up for B. Hands up for C. B, I would agree, is the best answer there, hey? You want it to be low. You agree there? All right. Next, let's have a look at an example here. A loan for $5,000 that's taken out over 3 years at 9.5% charged monthly. Noah, what's the reason why this $5,000 loan might be taken out?
He could probably want it for a car.
Right, might be a car. There you go. And yes, while like saving up is a good thing, sometimes you just have to buy it. Maybe it's a need. All right. Show that the monthly repayment required to pay off the loan is $160.17. We can use our graphics calculator to solve these ones. All right, let's fill it in. Josh, start for me. Do what's PY and CY for this question.
PY and CY is monthly, so it's 12.
Nice. Nikki, what would N be?
12 times 3, so 36.
Nice. Let's keep the good times going. Serene. I. Noah, PV.
But I'm going to take a gamble at 0.
You're going to take a gamble 0. So the present value at the very start, 0. 5,000. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
5,000.
Why 5,000?
Because you take out 5,000 at the start.
Good. And is it a positive or a negative?
It's that positive because you would have drawn.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah, because effectively you're getting $5,000 at the start. Like it's in your hand. Often people then would maybe use that to like actually buy the car. You know, like that's, or if it's a car that's happening. Good. PMT, let's keep it going. We're up to Mahalia.
PMT would be 160.17.
Yeah, it's what we need to solve it, don't we? Yeah. Oh, I guess show that. All right, we could put 160.17 as a positive or a negative. Is that what you say?
As a negative.
Negative. And based on this, Jack, what are we solving for? Mahalia's taken us in a different direction. We're solving in this case for FV. What should FV be if that's the correct answer?
Shouldn't it be 0?
Yeah, so ideally this should actually end up being 0. So you can either put FV, the other way of solving this question would be make PMT question mark and make FV 0.
But you can still do it the first way as well. Like,
Yeah, you can solve for... Now, when I did it that way, FV was like 21 cents. There was a little bit left over. Why would it not be exactly 0? Because of rounding, because of the rounding error. But it's basically approximately 0. It's probably easier to do the second method. All right, hence. What does hence mean? Therefore, good. Hence, complete the following table to find the balance of the loan after 3 months. Right, let's fill this in. Month 1, month 2, month 3. At the very start of month 1, the principal was $5,000. All right. The interest in that first month, what's our formula for interest? I equals, remember that? PIN? So the formula for interest would be $5,000 times by the interest rate, which is 9.5%, times by the time period, which is N. N in this case is 1 month. So we times it by 1/12. $5,000 times by 0.095 times by 1/12. Oh, I got accepted and then I couldn't go because it was the same day as our orientation day. I know you gave me permission. I really appreciated that you get. Hopefully I'll get onto it later in the year when they film it again. Fingers crossed. But thank you for the permission. I appreciate it. I feel it. I feel it. All right. $39.58 is how much interest is charged. What's the repayment? We know that the repayment's $160.17 each month, don't we? Is there somewhere else I can put $160.17? Where else could I put it? Where do you reckon, Serene? How often are you paying $160.17? Every month. So could we also put it here? Is the repayment $160.17 every month?
Yes.
I reckon yeah. Yeah, I reckon yeah. Cool. All right. Now, how do we work out the balance at the end of the first month? Let's remember the story. What happens during the first month? At the start of the first month, the balance was $5,000. What do you get charged during that first month? What does the bank charge you? $39.58. What do you repay off the loan? $160.17. So how are we going to work out the balance at the end of the first month?
Minus 160 and 39.
Do we minus both of them?
Yeah.
Have a look at the green table on page 207. Love your facial reactions. Can you have a look at the green table on page 100?
You times it, then you divide it.
Do you times, then do you divide? These are all great questions.
Oh, no.
Just
You add it and you take away.
Tell me why.
Because that's the interest on top of the loan.
Yep.
So you add that and then you take away your repayment.
Then you take away the repayment. You got it.
Oh, because that's interest. Yeah, I got it.
5,000 plus 5.
So
It's the investigation as well. Just those.
So after 1 month, that's the balance. of the, like at the end of the first month.
That's how much he has to pay back still.
Still, yeah, that's the amount owing, correct. All right. So let's go to month 2. What's the principal at the start of month 2?
4, 8, 7.
You got it, good picking up, well done. So it's
That's the balance. That's how much he has to pay.
that number goes to there. See how like the balance at the end of the first month becomes the principal at the start of the second month? So how do we work out the interest for the second month then? What do you reckon?
You do the same thing as the month 1, but you just replace the principal.
Correct. You got it. Exactly right. Same thing, just replace the principal. This time the... So is our interest amount going to go up or is it going to go down? Why is it going to go down? Because there's less to repay. Good, because the interest is charged on the outstanding balance. Ooh, so like the faster we can pay the principal down, the faster a loan can be repaid. I got $38.63. Nikki got that too? $38.63? So it's gone down. How do we work out our balance?
You do 4, 8, 7, 9. Add 38.62.
Yep.
Take away 160.17.
Nice. All right, I want you to have a go at the third row all by yourself. All by...
I'm just waiting.
I got 4, 7, 5, 7, 8, 7.
That's what I got.
Whoa, so many sevens. Which culture is 7 a lucky number? Christianity? Because in China, it's 8 is the lucky number. 8's 8's lucky in China. That's why the Olympics were started on the 8th of August 2008 in Beijing at 8:08 p.m.
That's why he should be on the game show. He knows he's
I know that fun fact. Yeah. All right, have a go at row 3. Does it look like something like this? That number there? And what number's at the very end? My guess is it's a 4.37. And what's our interest amount? Okay. What assumptions have been made in this scenario?
That the interest rate doesn't change.
Good. Interest rate stays the same.
Because when you sign it, wouldn't it just stay the same? Like if the interest rate at the time of signing is 3.7, it can't go up. Like,
Good question. Can we all listen in to this point? Noah's raised a great question here. Noah's like saying, if the interest rate that you sign up, can it change? Well, that depends on if you're on a fixed interest rate or a variable interest rate, which we're about to read about. It depends. If you're on a fixed interest rate, it won't change for a set period of time. It means you're guaranteed, it's locked in, it's going to stay the same. But you could be on what's called a variable interest rate, which means that it might change if the bank decides to change it. So it sort of depends. Adam?
I just a question of interest.
Yeah.
What would you say is a good interest for a loaner?
At the moment, if it depends.
An ideal interest rate, for any of us.
The cheapest ones are house loans at the moment. So home loan at the moment, if you're getting a home loan that's in the 5s, you're doing pretty well, I think, at the moment. About 5 point something is pretty good.
So I think that's a good deal.
Car loans are often a little bit higher than that, a few percent higher. So if you're getting a car loan of 8%, you're probably doing all right at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, look, credit cards, if I'm late on paying my credit card back, it's 20% interest, something like that. That's really high. So you can tell why I make sure that I pay my balance every month so that I don't get charged any interest. All right? Because with a credit card, as long as you pay back your balance before it's due, you don't get charged any interest. All right, we're assuming the interest rate stays the same. Any other assumptions that we're making here? What about the repayments? Same repayments each month? Yeah. Can you pay extra off your loan? Depends on the scenario, depends on the loan's terms and conditions, but often, yes, you can, all right? I remember talking to someone once who they realised that it was only after paying back their home loan for 4 or 5 years that they realised they could pay extra compared to what they were just having to pay each month. Often you can, it depends. Some loans have rules about how much extra you can pay per month. Often that's fixed rate loans, but variable rates, yeah, if you want to pay extra, go for it. What's the positive of paying extra back on a loan? Means it makes you pay less interest, doesn't it? All right. So there's a few assumptions there. Now I reckon while I've got you, should we keep going with the next couple of examples together? Is that are we comfortable with that? Can we go on to the next example? All right. Because in some respect, that there and 8A is a recap of Year 11 General Maths. The Chapter 8A is pretty much a refresh. So let's have a look at Chapter B and let's have a look at some of these key terms that we need to know about. Before I talk about it though, I'll give you a minute or so to read page 211. Go, page 211. All right, let's do this. Josh, you get to answer the first question, then you get to handle it. What does a mortgage mean?
Buying a house is the biggest purchase, so they're financial instructions that institutions that have a special category of loans is called home loans or mortgage loans.
Yeah.
Specifically for the specific property.
So-
It's when you buy a home loan.
It's a home loan, yeah. So a mortgage is a home loan.
Yeah.
It's just a fancy word for a home loan, a loan for a home. Can everybody say mortgage?
Mortgage.
Is the T silent? Yes, the T is silent. All right. Mortgage. Mortgage. All right. What does fixed rate loan mean? Josh, you answered the first question. Who's going to answer the second question? Did you say Nikki? Nikki, go. Yeah, I think. What's a fixed rate mean?
Fixed rate means the rate stays the same.
Great. Interest rate stays same. Can we say for a set period? For a set period. For example, you may hear in the news that there's a lot of people in home loans. Often a home loan you can only get a fixed rate for like up to 5 years. And obviously people who are getting a home loan might have a loan over a much longer period than that. But a lot of people are starting to come off of their fixed rates, and interest rates were quite low a few years back. And so people at the moment who are coming off their fixed rates are finding it a bit tricky because now the interest rates are going up a bit higher. All right, fixed interest rate for a set period. What's the good thing about a fixed rate loan? It means you're guaranteed, you know exactly what it's going to be. That's the positive. You know, like those of you who like certainty and organised and order would love fixed rate loans. But let's talk a bit about these next bad guys. Variable rate loans. What's a variable rate loan mean? Adam, what does that mean?
A variable rate loan is when the rates change, they
Good.
fluctuate.
Interest rate can fluctuate as per bank's decision. The bank who decides if they want to increase or decrease it, they have permission to be able to do that. They generally do it in response to when the Reserve Bank of Australia changes interest rates as well, who are like the bank for the banks in Australia. They meet once a month. Does anyone know when the Reserve Bank meets to decide about interest rates? Big one. It's not to do with the Chinese day, no. It's the first Tuesday of every month is when they meet. Yeah, first Tuesday, all right. So first Tuesday, I reckon that'd be a pretty good gig to only like have to meet once a month, don't you reckon? All right, they meet once a month. A loan approval fee or setup fee, what do you reckon that means, Tanya? What do you reckon a loan approval fee or a setup fee means? What do you think? Who do you reckon might charge that? I reckon the loaner, yeah, the bank, yeah. So a fee charged by the bank. Sometimes you have to pay like a loan setup fee, charged by the bank. Do you reckon an administrative fee or monthly fee is also a fee charged by the bank? It's the way they make money, isn't it? All right. Sometimes they don't have setup fees. Sometimes they do. Different fees. Fees vary. Right. And what's our formula for total interest? It's the total interest.
It's the total repayment.
Good. Can I get our brains just to sidetrack a bit? What's the formula for interest on an investment? Do you remember what the formula is for the interest on an investment? Like if you're investing money? Is the formula for the interest on an investment the same as a loan or is it different? It's the same? So, Flynn, if you invested $5,000 today, you made $10 monthly payments and then waited to see how much that would be in the future, in like 3 years' time, would we use this same formula to work out the interest? I'd say no. This is the formula that's just for loans, but remember for an investment, I equals, I'll start it off, see if you remember it, FV, takeaway, PV, takeaway, PMT times by
Oh, the years.
yeah, the time, N. So for an investment, this is our interest. But here we're talking about loans. So loans, so maybe we should make a note here that this is for loans. See how the formulas are different? All right, that was a bit of a sidetrack. Right, should we do a question about Barak here? Right, let's circle the key information. Jack, what's the key information? 25,000? Monthly, good. Anything else? The loan? Yeah, it's a loan. Good. All right. Is this, are we assuming that, what's an assumption? Are we assuming that Barak's last name is Obama? I've never met anybody called Barak. Has anybody ever met a Barak? US, you think the US president? Yeah. Barack Obama, what, from 2008 to 2016 was he the prime president?
So why do it alone? White House, I believe, White House.
They did it, yeah. That's right, isn't it? Because Trump was from 2016 to 2020. Is that right? All right. All right, let's go. Noah, what's N?
N is 4 years times 12.
Good. Josh, what's my I?
7.3.
Nikki, PV?
25.
Positive or negative?
Take out a loan, so positive.
Positive, correct. Sareem, PMT? That's what we're solving for. Mahalia, FV? 0. Jack? PY? Tanya, CY? What's the difference between PY and CY? Can anyone tell me? Compounding periods, and PY is? Payment periods. Yeah. Payments per year, compounding periods. P for payment, C for compounding. All right, let's solve for it. Therefore, PMT equals? My guess is about $500. That's my guess. Thereabouts. Is my guess right?
602.14.
Now, you're rounding, is it, can you tell me what it is for like 3 decimal places? Just like, what is it when you? 0.142. So if it's 0.142, now this is where like the rounding fun gets a bit, if you follow your normal rounding rules, 0.14, you've technically like underpaying it a little bit. So your last payment might be slightly higher. That's, but we can just follow our normal rounding rules. $602.14. All right. Question B. Calculate the total interest that Barak pays on the loan. How do we work this out?
It's the
Total repaid minus starting principal. So how do we work out the total repaid? Is it just $602.14? Is that all you pay? No. What do we need to times it by?
The interest.
Nope.
Times it by 12 and times it by 4.
Times it by 12, times it by 4. Why do we times it by 12 and times it by 4? Because you're paying this much every month and you're doing it for 4 years.
The formula doesn't say that.
The formula just tells us total repaid. So if we were to rewrite the formula, you could write it as PMT times N minus, what would you minus from it? PV?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's our starting principal? 25k? How much is it? Is it a couple of grand? Someone got an answer for us?
3,902.
3902.72? Happy with that? All right. This is a good point for a take a pause if you need to run to the bathroom. Here's our bathroom break opportunity because when we come back, we're going to do question 2, which is Michelle. Go.